Hello everyone, as a follow-up to the video I posted about how I like to improvise and compose excerpts to help me practice difficult passages, I'm going to respond to some of your comments and give you ideas for the passages you asked about. So let's get started. Luckily I've played this before. I can't play it anymore. Good. Now I can really talk about it. In this passage, I'm looking for the pitches that form the outline of this phrase that should be brought out. As I divide the passage into sections, I'm isolating certain bits that are difficult for me and that I need to repeat a bunch of times, and I'm padding it with some of my own musical ideas. And I see it in two sections. Plus. This next passage involves some grace notes, and I would pay attention to the wrist and how you're relaxing it beforehand, and I would also view the grace notes as part of a blocked chord that's broken up, instead of trying to view it as individual grace notes that are leading into a downbeat. So right before the grace note, I would make sure my wrist is nice and loose. Right here. And I would add in just a tiny, tiny gap between the D and the start of the grace note. So in practicing this, I might just block these three notes. So just by playing this over another chord instead of A minor, going to G minor, and then going back and forth, it could be a nice way to practice. Nice. The next passage deals with arpeggios, specifically a very fast and loud descending run. So if you're talking about the very last arpeggio, I wouldn't use 5. I'm gonna assume maybe it's the one before. Yeah, it's probably this one. Okay. So this one is made up of these 5 notes, repeated down 1 octave. Yes. Here are some ideas to work on the shifts in hand position where your 5th finger is going over the thumb. So I would practice this slightly under tempo, stopping at the 5th finger. And I'll do it a couple of times in each register because your hand will feel different when you're playing it up here and versus when you're playing it here, even though they're the same notes. So I would do that. I would make sure that, relatively speaking, my wrist is in the same position, going from here to here. I wouldn't try to move my elbow this way to help me reach over. I just want this movement to be lightning fast. So this might be good to repeat. So what I'm doing here is I'm isolating that transition point. 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. I'm just going to repeat it in this octave, this register, and one lower. And with that, I'm going to add an F major chord and then a G major chord below. I'll just repeat that. Also, I would make sure to do this in a slightly elevated volume so that you're matching what is required for this run. So I have a few more from the session that I'll post in the next How Can I Practice This video. And to close off, I'd like to share a short piece written by a subscriber after I posted my 100 Notes challenge. So long story short, after gathering a bunch of pieces written by you all, which by the way, thank you so much for participating in that, I tried a couple different video ideas. Everything from adding my own graphics, adding some sort of drawing to them, trying to splice them up in a sort of way and combining them, adding some sort of commentary. But none of them felt right, and I think it's because they're just complete on their own. So what I decided to do is to include some of them at the ends of certain practice notes videos, so look out for them in the future. Let me know which passages you'd like me to cover next, and please be as specific as possible in terms of which measures you're talking about and what you're having trouble with. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.